So Bryan Mbeumo is already hitting the ground running in Manchester United after scoring 2 goals in his last 2 games against Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup and against Burnley in the Premier League. So the Cameroonian forwarder is already proving that he's going to be one of the most crucial players for Manchester United this season. So guys, let's dive into this video together to analyze how Bryan Mbeumo is going to be very important for Manchester United this season. So Manchester United have struggled in recent season to find a consistent secondary goal threat, but with the arrival of Bryan Mbeumo, Manchester United is going to be getting pace. He's going to be bringing his blistering pace, his instinct for goal, his ability to stretch defensive line, and that is definitely going to ease the burden of a consistent goal scoring ability of any Manchester United player. And Bryan Mbeumo has this ability to always arrive in dangerous areas that is going to make him to be able to score goals more than any Manchester United player currently. So sorry guys, sorry for interrupting this video. I just want you guys to help me to subscribe to Tactical Trafford. I see many people watching my videos, but those that watch my videos are actually non-subscribers. They are not subscribers. I want you guys to help me to subscribe to Tactical Trafford. Smash that like button, as I would like to reach 1K subscribers before the end of September. Thanks. So guys, let's actually talk about how Bryan Mbeumo creates goal scoring opportunity for himself and for other United players. You're going to find out that Bryan Mbeumo's clinical finishing and composure in front of goal has given Manchester United a new attacking edge. As Bryan Mbeumo is able to score a variety of goals, he's a player that can be able to score any kind of goal. And unlike other Manchester United forwards, Bryan Mbeumo consistently finds himself closer to goal more than every Manchester United players, and because of his ability to finish shots one time, he has been really instrumental to how Manchester United attack these past 4 games, both in the Premier League and in the Carabao Cup. And you're going to find out that one of the ways Bryan Mbeumo creates chance for himself and for other players is by dragging defenders out of their position. You're going to find out that in the Arsenal game, Bryan Mbeumo constantly caused the Arsenal defense line problem because he was constantly pulling Gabriel Manganes away from his position, thereby leaving those pocket spaces for him to run in behind, for other Manchester United players to run in behind. And this is definitely one of the characteristics that I like a lot because he's very swift. He's a player that can be able to play one-touch football and quickly turn and cause defensive problems. And you're also going to find out that most of his shots this season has been shots on target. That tells you that he's a player that actually, has a lot of composure in front of goal instead of snatching at chances, and is a player that can be able to shoot the ball very low and makes it very difficult for goalkeepers to be able to have a chance of even saving the ball. So when it comes to how and what Bryan Mbeumo brings for Manchester United when it comes to goal scoring, he's a player that is definitely going to elevate the Manchester United attack. So guys, let's talk about the positioning and attacking instinct of Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo is actually a very relentless runner that likes to make diagonal runs that can be able to stretch defensive lines and defensive oppositions. And this is going to actually cause the defenders to be able to adjust, the central defenders to adjust. And Bruno Fernandes is going to explain those spaces, what Bryan Mbeumo has been doing this season because of his diagonal runs, because of his ability to be able to make those inside right channel runs that is actually going to put defenders behind this, causing Manchester United attackers to be able to exploit those spaces in behind. And Bryan Mbeumo has been actually very good in that inside right channel. This allows him to receive the ball onside and be in advanced throws closer to goal than any other Manchester United player. So when it comes to the positioning and the attacking instincts of Bryan Mbeumo, you're going to find out that he's very leader when it comes to his attacking instinct, and also he has a very leader pace on the counter attacks, and this has made Manchester United to be able to break quickly during transition. And Bryan Mbeumo is that man that always leads Manchester United in every counter attack. If you watch the game against Arsenal, against Fulham, against Grimsby Town, against Burnley, you're going to find out that he's the player that is leading the Manchester United attack because of his excellent pace, because of his blistering pace, his instincts to be able to score goal properly. So this is definitely what Bryan Mbeumo has been bringing to Manchester United over the past 4 games. He has been really wonderful. His runs has been really great, and because of his ability to make those onside runs and that inside right channel runs, this is going to help to push the defense of the opposition team behind, and this is going to cause the Manchester United midfield to be able to push up and then pin the opposition team back and be able to dominate the team over larger portions of the games. So let's talk about the defensive work rate and the pressing of Bryan Mbeumo. Bryan Mbeumo is a player that actually presses very freely, and this helps the attack of Manchester United. Bryan Mbeumo is not just good in scoring, not just good in possession, he's also very good outside the position because he times his pressing runs intelligently, and is a player that can be able to block those passes to the goalkeeper or those passes that can be played inside the pocket spaces or channels into the defensive midfielders. So in a situation whereby the opposition team wants to build up from the back, Bryan Mbeumo is that player that can be able to either stop the ball from going to the goalkeeper in the first place, or he can stop the goalkeeper from playing those inside pocket spaces passes into the defensive midfielders. And even when possession is lost, Bryan Mbeumo is the player that can be able to press, to return back, to try to win the ball from his opposition team. And look at the stats for the top attackers in the Premier League with the most sprints in the Premier League this season. Bryan Mbeumo is among the few attackers that has the most or the highest sprints per 90 minutes in the Premier League. That tells you that he's a player that can be able to track back efficiently. He's a player that can be able to press intelligently and efficiently to help the team regain possession back, and is a player that can be able to help attacking wise. So guys, let's actually talk about the creativity of Bryan Mbeumo. When you're talking about the creativity or one of the most creative wingers in the Premier League, definitely many people don't call the likes of Bryan Mbeumo, they call the likes of Bukayo Saka, the likes of Phil Foden, the likes of Mohamed Salah, but you're going to find that Bryan Mbeumo is one of the most underrated creative wingers in the Premier League because he has a very wonderful vision. He has this ability to spot runners in behind. If you look at the Burnley game, he made like 3 key passes into the wing backs and into Amad Diallo, into Diego Dalot in those games. And these are passes that you could not see on the screen, but you're going to find out that Bryan Mbeumo is definitely seeing someone when he's playing those passes. If you look at the Grimsby Town game, he's a player that can be able to spot runners in behind. He's a player that can be able to spot runs that we as viewers cannot be able to see. So this is definitely one of the underrated characteristics of Bryan Mbeumo because he's a very, very creative player. And if you look at last season, he was one of the players with the crosses in the Premier League, and you could see this season that he's beginning to whip in wonderful crosses for Manchester United, which Benjamin Sesko is definitely going to benefit from because Bryan Mbeumo is one of the most crucial players when it comes to crossing. He can cross with both feet, with his left foot, his right foot. So this is definitely one characteristic of Bryan Mbeumo I like a lot. He's very creative. He can be able to switch the play when a particular segment of the pitch is being overcrowded. He can switch the play. He can play through balls. He's a player that can be able to give line breaking passes that can be able to break opposition. When I was making my video earlier about Bryan Mbeumo when he was in Brentford, you're going to find out that because of Brentford not have a lot of the balls, he doesn't consistently break down opposition team with a lot of line breaking passes, with a lot of through balls. But you're going to find out that in a team like United, whereby we are going to hold in the ball against smaller opposition, you're going to find out that particular characteristics of Bryan Mbeumo that was not showing in Brentford is beginning to show in Manchester United because he's beginning to spot runners in behind. He's beginning to play more final third passes, more crucial passes, more long balls, and more through balls that can be able to split opposition defenses apart. So guys, if Bryan Mbeumo can be able to maintain his form, his pace, his instinct for goal, his creativity, his crossing ability, he's definitely going to be one of the most crucial players for Manchester United this summer. I want you guys to give me your thoughts on the comment section if you feel Bryan Mbeumo is going to be one of the most crucial players for Manchester United this season. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to Tactical Trafford as we have more goals to reach this season as a community. So see you guys in my next video. Ciao.